What is going on, guys? Welcome back to our weekly top 5 videos. We are covering the dragon typing this week, so if you guys are hyped for that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already to make sure you don't miss out on any of our top 5 videos. But of course, let's get a quick disclaimer here before we get going into the video. Of course, we are only covering primary and pure typing dragon types in this week, just to give a little bit more of a diversity to other typings on the list. They're just not running through the same, like 30 Pokemon or whatever, right? So, and of course, this list is 100% opinionated. Of course, anything on this list is subject to change, order, or even, maybe the lower spots even switch in and out. But of course, if you have a top 5 video, or top 5 list, make sure that you leave it in the comment section down below. I would love to see it. And without further ado, let us hop into number 5. Alright guys, so here at number 5, we have the OG, the one, the only, the original dragon type of the Kanto region, Dragonite. Now, Dragonite is actually one of the friendliest Pokemon that you will ever meet. He is just a happy-go-lucky guy that can sometimes get into outrages if angered, but he is honestly like a Pokemon that is super loyal to trainers, a super happy-go-lucky dragon type, which is actually really rare. If you look at the dragon type Pokemon descriptions, a lot of them are super angry, super aggressive, super territorial, and Dragonite just isn't any of that. Dragonite's just super chill, kind of go with the flow. To be honest, if I thought in like a real world situation that like Dragonite could be something on my team, it would be dope. However, I don't think I could justify having like a 7-foot dragon in like an apartment building, you know what I mean? But other than that, that's a Pokemon that I absolutely love. The only thing that I don't really understand is how come his wings are so small. Like, that boy ain't flying. That boy is not covering enough wingspan to start flying around, right? But that's really the only thing that I really have that's kind of like a weird, like, why is this a thing? But honestly, Dragonite's super dope, right? Like, able to Dragon Dance up, sweep on the physical side, and does get some decent special coverage moves that allow it to kind of take control of the game if it needs to. And of course, it's Lance's ace, right? Like, there's a lot of nostalgia with Dragonite that made it basically have to be on our top 5 list. But without further ado, let us hop into number 4. Alright guys, at number 4, we have Haxorus, the Axe Jaw Pokemon. Now, Haxorus is another champion Pokemon's ace. Obviously, Iris having herself an Axew in the anime. But Haxorus is honestly one of the coolest land dragons in the game. Like, for real. Design-wise, I would actually have put this in number 3. Instead of number 4, but it is a little bit one-dimensional, right? It only recently got access to Dragon Dance. Before that, it didn't have that option, so it was kind of forced to be fully physical. It kind of didn't really have the same way to deal with some of its other threats. But Haxorus is a super cool Pokemon. The only thing with Dragon typing is that when I think of dragons, I think of, like, Saphira from Aragon. I think of things like dragons like that are kind of, and like mythological, dragons. Like, that's kind of what I traditionally think out of dragons. And so there's kind of this bias that I have against, like, the land dragons. But I just really like this Pokemon. Its design is super cool. Its shiny is wicked awesome. And it even says in this Pokemon description, right, Haxorus is normally considered friendly, but it it can go on rampages. It's just really strong, powerful Pokemon. But yeah, I don't really have much more to say about it. It's one of the pure typings on this list, which is kind of cool. But let's hop into number 3. Alright guys, so at number 3 we have Garchomp, the Mach Pokemon. Now, this is one of the Pokemon that, I really went back and forth 3 and 4 with this and Haxorus. you know, obviously a ton of respect on its name. You know, it's Cynthia's ace, right? Like, and that alone gives it this prestige. You know, it's honestly one of the best competitive Pokemon in the game. You know, like, before Landorus Therian was a thing, like, Garchomp was really kind of considered like the best ground type. That wasn't like a legendary. And this thing is crazy. Like, it fights with like salamences and Tyrannitars just like in the mountains, just randomly. Like, the only thing I never really understood about this Pokemon, like, it's supposed to be like this kind of like land shark Pokemon, but like, it flies. Like, it literally flies. And I never really understood it how it does. Like, I feel like it just glides, but I don't actually know. It's still kind of one of those things where, like, it says it does this thing, but I'm like, how does that work? You know what I mean? But this Pokemon is obviously incredible, right? Able to attack on the physical side, special side. You're going to hear that a lot with this dragon list, because dragons are just such a good typing. Especially when you put in two good typings together, like, it just finds a way to dominate. And, you know, being Cynthia's ace, it just has a ton of credibility to it. And that's why I had to put it at number 3 on the list. So, but let's move on to number 2. Alright guys, coming in at number 2 is one of the newer additions to Pokemon. We have Dragapult, the stealth Pokemon. Now, this Pokemon is actually such a cool design, right? Like, a bomber jet with like its pre-evolutions as its missiles coming out of its ghost body, man. Like, that is wild to me. Wild to me. You know, Phantom Force comes out of the shadows, like, out of like the vapor, and just like attacks you. Like, it's such a cool design. It's one of the fastest Pokemon in Pokemon period. I think it's at like 145 speed. Like, it just is so fast. It doesn't really have the greatest attack set though, which is a little bit like unique to me. But it's still a really good Pokemon. Obviously, we've seen it competitively be pretty decent. Actually, more of a support Pokemon, which was a little bit surprising. But having U-turn, and kind of having dual screens, being a ghost type, you know, it kind of has this weird niche. But this Pokemon here is here for design for sure. It's definitely a really cool Pokemon, and without further ado, let us hop into our number 1 this week for a top 5 dragon types. Alright guys, so at number 1 we have Dragonite. Whoa, that is not Dragonite, that is Salamence, our number 1 dragon type here this week. Salamence, honestly, I kind of said it before, but Salamence is what I envision as what a dragon should look like, right? Like, it has all the mythological dragon features that I think of with a dragon, right? A dragon that you can, although weirdly enough, Dragonite's actually like not even 5 foot tall, or Salamence is not even 5 foot tall, which is like a little weird to me. But the reality of it is, like, it is literally what I would think to have as a dragon. And honestly, like, if I could have a Dragonite or a Salamence in real life, like, oh my god, I'm gonna keep saying Dragonite because dragon typing, we already covered Dragonite, like, this is gonna be a problem. But Salamence here is honestly one of my favorite Pokemon. Like, it is legitimately a top 5 Pokemon to me. You know, it has the speed, it has the mixed attacking, it has the mega evolution, it has the look to it. It literally has everything it needs to be like this dominating Pokemon. And, you know, again, like, it's Drake's kind of ace, but it's weird, right? Because, like, because of Steven Stone, like, Salamence just kind of got completely overlooked by Metagross in terms of, like, what the ace of the region was. And I think it kind of loses a little bit of respect, and kind of the height of it is kind of a throw off to people. But honestly, this is legitimately, like, unquestionably number 1 on the list for me. But with that, I think this wraps up our top 5 dragon types. If you guys enjoyed the list, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Hopefully I will remember the names of Pokemon as we continue forward on the list. But obviously I look forward to seeing your guys' top 5 list down below. And we'll probably be covering what's next in the alphabetical order, like electric. I think we'll be covering the electric type in the next episode. So I will see you guys in the next one.